The shooting of President John F. Kennedy stunned the nation. For his wife, Jackie, the loss of her husband was both earth-shattering and deeply personal. Here's what she said about those final moments.
They thought they were watching strength, but what they were really seeing was shock. On November 22, 1963, as the bullets echoed through Dallas, the world watched Jackie Kennedy stand frozen beside her dying husband. Her pink suit, soaked in blood, became an image burned into history. Cameras followed her every step, believing silence meant control. But when the motorcade disappeared and the doors finally closed, everything fell apart. In private, Jackie collapsed, whispering words so painful a Secret Service bodyguard carried them in silence for more than 50 years. Those words explained why she refused to change her clothes, why the horror stayed wrapped around her, and why she never truly healed. America mourned a president, but no one saw the moment Jackie Kennedy realized her life was over too. Not with noise, but with unbearable quiet. She was born on July 28, 1929, not where her parents planned, but at Southampton Hospital after a last-minute change during a summer stay in the Hamptons. Her father, John Blackjack Bouvier III, was already building a reputation on Wall Street. Her mother, Janet Norton Lee, came from a powerful banking family. Even her birth attracted attention. The hospital listed her simply as Baby Girl Bouvier, and society took note. From the beginning, her life was wrapped in privilege, but comfort did not mean safety. Her baptism took place at St. Ignatius Loyola Church in Manhattan, a place known for wealth, influence, and appearances. It was less about faith and more about status. That same church would later host her confirmation and decades later, her funeral. One building witnessing every stage of a life shaped by restraint and quiet pain. By the age of 3, Jackie was placed on a horse. Her mother believed riding built discipline and elegance. By 5, Jackie was winning blue ribbons at the Devon Horse Show, her victories proudly featured in society pages. But horses weren't just trophies to her, they became escape. Behind the polished smiles, her home was breaking apart. Her father's drinking, gambling, and affairs turned love into tension. Echoes echoed through hallways, and when everything felt unstable, Jackie ran toward the only place that gave her control, the saddle. Horses became her sanctuary, a pattern that followed her for life. In 1936, the family moved into a massive Park Avenue apartment developed by her grandfather, James T. Lee. 2 floors, marble halls, chandeliers, yet many rooms stood empty. Her father's finances were already collapsing. Jackie and her sister Lee roller skated through unfurnished rooms, pretending nothing was wrong. But everything was wrong. Her father's scandals became public: gambling debts, chorus girls, headlines filled newspapers. Jackie heard the shouting behind closed doors and learned early that love could humiliate. When her parents finalized their divorce in 1940, she was just 11 years old. As she grew older, Jackie refused to be decorative. When she entered journalism, most women were limited to weddings and party columns. She wanted more. Her writing had texture and depth, as if she lived inside the stories she told, because she had. In 1953, she covered the British coronation, describing jeweled crowns and palace corridors with intimacy. That same year, she traveled to Korea, crouching in foxholes with a helmet and camera. She photographed faces others ignored: black soldiers, civilians, quiet injustice. Her editors refused to publish them. She kept the negatives anyway. Even then, Jackie knew where she stood. She rejected marriage proposals from men who admired her appearance but dismissed her mind. She wanted purpose. She wanted meaning. Then she met a young senator named John F. Kennedy. Their real connection began at a dinner party hosted by Charles Bartlett in Georgetown. Unlike others, John listened, and Jackie did not disappear into the role of a political wife. Even after their marriage, she kept writing. She covered hearings, she ghost-wrote letters,
she refined speeches. By 1960, she was balancing motherhood and a presidential campaign that would change history. When she became First Lady in 1961, everything changed, but not her instincts. She controlled access, curated images, hired Pamela Turner as press secretary, the first of her kind. Her Life magazine cover in 1962 became the best-selling issue of the year. Her wardrobe sparked outrage over cost, yet most of it was American-made, boosting U.S. fashion exports. Style wasn't vanity to Jackie, it was strategy. When she walked into the White House, she saw faded walls and forgotten history. Determined to restore its soul, she formed a fine arts committee led by Henry Francis DuPont. She personally bid at Sotheby's for a desk once owned by Thomas Jefferson, paying what many called an outrageous price. To her, it was priceless. On Valentine's Day, 1962, Jackie Kennedy opened the doors of the White House to the nation. Her televised tour aired without commercials, and 56 million Americans watched as she transformed power into preservation. Donations flooded in. History was saved. She earned a special Emmy Trustees Award, an honor no First Lady had ever received. For a moment, it felt like triumph, but tragedy was already closing in. In August 1963, Jackie gave birth to Patrick Bouvier Kennedy, born too soon and gone after just 3 days. The nation barely noticed. At the same time, she quietly battled Addison's disease, her strength draining while she grieved alone. And then came Dallas. She wore a raspberry pink Chanel-style suit, chosen for hope, not horror. When the shots rang out, blood soaked the fabric and her life shattered. She refused to change. Standing beside Lyndon B. Johnson, she whispered, "I want them to see what they've done." It wasn't defiance, it was grief refusing to disappear. At Parkland Hospital, time seemed to stop. Jackie stayed with John F. Kennedy long after the doctors had done all they could. She held his hand when it was already cold, whispering love into a silence that would never answer back. Clint Hill and Roy Kellerman stood guard, not just against cameras and reporters, but against a reality too cruel to face all at once. The sound of the gunshot followed her everywhere, into sleep, into memory, into the rest of her life. It never faded. It never softened. Just 3 days later, still hollowed out by shock, Jackie did something unimaginable. She planned the funeral, every detail. She chose the riderless horse, Blackjack, its empty saddle a symbol of absence too painful to explain. She demanded an eternal flame, something living that would never go out, because she needed the world to remember what she had lost. On November 25, 1963, millions watched as she lit it herself, a widow standing upright while her heart was buried beneath her feet. After the White House, Jackie disappeared by choice. She left Washington and moved to New York, turning down a widow's pension because she refused to live on sympathy. She wanted work, purpose, something solid. At Viking Press and later Doubleday, she rebuilt herself quietly, editing nearly 100 books, protecting other people's stories when her own felt too painful to touch. She helped save Grand Central Station, fought for history, and mentored writers who never forgot her grace. Her personal life remained complicated and heavy. Her marriage to Aristotle Onassis brought scandal and betrayal instead of safety. A secret relationship with John Warnke, the man who designed JFK's grave, left her carrying guilt she never fully released. By the 1980s, her editing career reached its peak, but her life stayed private. She raised Caroline and John Jr. away from applause, away from cameras, away from a world that had already taken too much. And for decades, the silence held, until one day, it didn't. In 2023, Paul Landis finally broke his silence, revealing the bullet was not a fragment, but whole, opening wounds that never healed. Jackie Kennedy was never just a woman in pearls. She was history's witness, grief's survivor, and pain's silent carrier. If this story moved you, like, share, and subscribe so her truth is never forgotten. Thanks for watching.